Next on Worcester News Tonight, hundreds mourn the loss of longtime school committee member as the community remembers Brian O'Connell. Plus, a celebration of survivors, how one local group is spreading awareness of breast cancer. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Chandler Walsh. The Burns Bridge lit purple and crimson tonight as a tribute to the late Brian O'Connell. The colors representing his alma maters, Holy Cross and Harvard Law School. The longtime Worcester School Committee member is being remembered around the city. Members of the community are paying their respects to the late Brian O'Connell. The longtime school committee member passed away last week at the age of 70. Our Cam JANDROW joins us now in the studio with more. Cam.
Chandler, Brian O'Connell was a lifelong Worcester resident. Some of his colleagues describing him as a man with unmatched passion for education. School committee members Jack Foley and John Monfredo remember the late Brian O'Connell as a friend.
We had him over our house all the time. We used to watch the World Series together.
The way that we would all kind of tease each other and have at least enjoy some of the moments in the school committee.
Foley and Monfredo were among the dozens who paid their respects to O'Connell Thursday afternoon. The 70-year-old passed away last week. O'Connell is being remembered as a kind man with a great mind.
He was dedicated to education. He dedicated his whole life to it, to the kids, to the teachers, and trying to make Worcester a better place.
Superintendent Maureen Benenda worked on O'Connell's first school committee campaign 36 years ago. Benenda describes O'Connell as the smartest man she ever met.
He could remember, all the important facts and dates, and learning was so important to him.
O'Connell's 36 years on the school committee makes him one of the longest-serving elected officials in Worcester's history. Friends say he leaves a void not only on the committee, but in the city.
He's going to be missed, and he's going to miss. He had a good sense of humor.
Over the last couple of days, I've got quite a few emails, and the common theme amongst them all was he was the nicest man that I knew.
Now O'Connell's funeral services are scheduled for Thursday morning starting at 10 a.m. at St. John's Church in Worcester. In the studio tonight, I'm Cam JANDROW, Worcester News Tonight.
State Senator Michael Moore is looking for a solution to the financial issues Leicester's water and sewer districts are facing. Leicester homeowners face some of the highest water and sewer bills in the state right now. There's no body to oversee the districts. Moore filed an amendment to the state budget this week, which would allow the Department of Public Utilities to oversee local districts. Any facing financial risks would need to notify the state.
This way, if a sewer commission or a water commission wants to increase the rates, that they would have to go to a governmental agency, DPU, and justify the rate increase, show them what their operating costs are, why they need the rate increase.
Moore says he's heard dozens of concerns and complaints from ratepayers in Leicester. The Senate will debate the supplemental budget, including this amendment, Thursday. State officials want the public's help in making transportation more energy efficient. The Baker-Polito administration hosted a public session at the MassDEP office in Worcester. The state is looking for strategies to provide low-carbon transportation and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Massachusetts is part of the multi-state Transportation and Climate Initiative, working with other states towards this common goal.
What are the investments we can make in electric bus fleets? What are ways to incent electric personal vehicles? We've seen the growth of electric vehicles. What are investments that we can make in the public transportation sector where, it will encourage more people to use public transportation?
The Transportation and Climate Initiative is looking for public input through the beginning of November. A celebration of survivors tonight and a message of hope for patients fighting breast cancer. Pink Revolution Breast Cancer Alliance spreads awareness by encouraging women to get screened. They also celebrate the survivors. Tonight at the Hanover Theater, they hosted Lighting the Way for Women's Cancer. Co-founder Audrey Curlin-Marcy says having the survivors on stage is an emotional moment for everyone in the audience.
We want them to leave tonight after the program, which is medical, It's spiritual, it's laughter, it's, there's a little sadness too, but in the end, they leave stronger than when they came. And that's really what it's about. It's all about letting everybody walk out the door feeling empowered and feeling stronger. And that's our motto. It's Ring Say Stronger, and that's what it's all about.
Pink Revolution says 100% of the funds they raise goes to equipment, research, and patient care. WPI engineers are working to make prostate exams safer and more accurate. Kai Zhang says 1 in 5 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. He received an almost $2 million grant from the National Institutes of Health for his work. The device he's working on will operate within an MRI to detect several signs of prostate cancer. It will take a 3D image of the prostate and any tumor to show it earlier stages than current ultrasounds can.
Right now, this biopsy procedure is done nearly blindly, and again using ultrasound technology, which will provide the structure of prostate, but doesn't tell us, where the tumor is with respect to the prostate.
Zhang says the robot uses light and sound to pinpoint potential cancer. It would also get rid of radioactive dyes used in traditional scans. Students from a Worcester middle school are participating in a statewide challenge. They're working to solve real-world problems, including polluted water. Our Anna Botari spoke with students today and has more.
Environmental activist Greta Thunberg's speech on the climate crisis inspired 8th grade students at Sullivan Middle School. Their teacher asked them to come up with a way to make water cleaner.
What was really cool about it is it was like the day after Greta Thunberg made her speech to the UN, and she was like, I can't believe you guys, the young people are speaking. And so I played that for my students, and they were so inspired. They're like, we can make a difference.
Mass STEM Hub and Project Lead the Way are putting out a challenge as part of STEM Week. Jillian D. Bonaventura's class began their work 3 weeks ago and are creating a filter to eliminate microplastics from the water in washing machines.
Fabrics like this and the fuzzy, soft blankets that we all love to cuddle up to in this weather, they're made of plastic. And it comes off in the washing machine and it contaminates the water. And there's no filter on the machine.
One group is thinking outside the box with their invention.
It hits the coffee filter, and then the water and the microplastics, it will go down with the water and the microplastics, and the net will catch it, and then the coffee filter will hold it and store it, and the water will just go all the way down and drain completely all the water, and the microplastics will stay and it will be removable.
Dee Bonaventura will choose 2 of the 6 groups in her class to go to a STEM showcase in Boston to present their idea.
The showcase itself is a learning experience, so that's why I said yes. They're up to it. They rose to the challenge.
The Worcester Students' projects will compete against others from 400 different schools across the state. In the studio, I'm Anna Botari, Worcester News Tonight.
The man charged in the fire which killed firefighter Christopher Roy is asking a judge to drop charges. According to Mass Live, 22-year-old Momoh Kamara's attorney filed a motion this week to drop murder, arson, and burglary charges. His attorney says there isn't enough evidence to connect Kamara to the Lowell Street building at the time the fires broke out. Firefighter Christopher Roy died battling the fire in December. Prosecutors say Kamara set several fires in the building's basement. They say detectives used surveillance video to place Kamara in the area. The Rutland Police Department welcomes back an officer and his canine partner tonight. Officer Matt Finuccio's cruiser was involved in a head-on collision earlier this year. The department says a driver fleeing a neighboring police department crossed into the wrong lane and crashed head-on into the cruiser. Rutland police thanked the people of Rutland for supporting Officer Finuccio, his canine partner Cooney, and the department through the incident.